Hello everybody, Micah Wagner here. For the last 20 years, I've dedicated my career to understanding how beginner and intermediate guitarists learn guitar in the fastest way possible. So let's dive in, why you're not improving on guitar and how to fix it. Here we go. All right, while this may feel really counterintuitive, it is what it says, less is more. Everybody gets lost because they go from one thing to the next and they try to learn a lot of things. They go wide, and guitar really is about going deep. We actually don't have to know that many shapes and that many things, and guitar is really unbelievably cool because it's exponential growth after that initial phase of those difficult similar things. Really applies unbelievably well, kind of like no other instrument, okay? We can take the things that we know and they become so much more. So I find students are trying to learn all sorts of different chord shapes and they really don't understand, hey, if I just had the 8, there's really 8 shapes, chord shapes that we need to know. And then I start understanding how to move pieces around just a little bit. Man, when I go read that chord chart that says D sus2 or, A minor 7, that, it's actually all originating from kind of these 5 or 8 chord shapes. So deep, not wide. People have a tendency to go wide from song to song. They maybe learn a little bit of a shuffle, or they learn like a scale shape, or they've got a little bit of a strumming, but they don't quite know the order of how all those things fit together. And they're discombobulated, or they're not compartmentalized. They're kind of compartmentalized their own pieces. They're scattershot. There's no connection between them. But trust me when I tell you that really deep, not wide, less is more. There's really only those 8 chord shapes I've mentioned about. So the chord shapes are C, A, G, E, and D. That's right, the caged system, all right? I don't care what anybody else says. The caged system is absolutely fantastic, and it lets us really move about the neck and really understand the neck. I am all about it. It really helps us really get our foundation and our understanding from the 1st fret and the 0th fret all the way up to the 12th. Our minor shapes are A minor, E minor, and D minor. Yes, there are more chords, and yes, there are a few more shapes, as we'll get into, bar chords, but not quite yet. There's only a few of those bar chord shapes. Those 8 shapes make up a ton. Here's something I see with students all the time. They come to me, they say, I know the basic chord shapes, and then they play them like this. They go to play a D and they play this, and then they go to G. But what they do is they go from the D, and then they put the pinky down, and then they come up here and they put the middle finger down, and then they put the ring finger down, and they get something that sounds, it doesn't quite land right. It sounds choppy. That's because we don't have the proper direction that our fingers should be landing. Our hand has a tendency to want to be very index finger dominant. So one of the things that I see is truly understanding between your 5 main chord shapes who your most important fingers are. If you want to dive deeper on that, we got videos for that. You can go check them out on our FretRepz YouTube channel. They're also on the app in FretRepz. If you just click the A major chord, you can go in and you can see definitively how to change. A real quick example is another one. Like people go from G down to C and they land with the index finger, and then they come back and land with their other fingers, middle ring. But you're coming from a G. We should be moving right here with these fingers down. All right, then adding our index. Our index has a lot of control. Okay, so less is more and understanding depth, not width. I'll give one really quick example on a drill. I love the 4-note chromatic. If we play that here, okay, I can go all the way up. What do I mean by less is more on this one? Well, a lot of times students get to me and they play it with their middle finger, their finger in the middle of the fret. Okay, well that's one thing, get it under the fret. We really need to press the fret and feel the fret on our backboard. Next, they come to me and their right hand is all over the place. Like they go down, 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 up, up, down, and they move it around. After our left hand gets a little comfortable, we very much need to be working on alternate picking. We forget that we really play with two hands, and people that come to me who have consistently failed consistently don't have a great right hand. Last but not least, it's not about speed to start this. We're getting comfortable and playing through our scales, going down to our 3rd fret, up to our 7th. This drill is something that we can warm up with for a really, really, really long time. So less is more, deep, not wide. Again, we have more videos about this on our YouTube channel on those specific drills, or you can head over to the app FretRepz.com and it will go through. It'll have each of your drills for you. Next up on the list, clarity. What does clarity mean? I touched basis on it a little bit on the last one. Deep, not wide. If we're coming through our chords and we're playing that D to G, but we're landing with our pinky first and our other ones, we're not clear on the order of our fingers. It's very important to understand clarity around your changes. Yes, there's a little bit of variations. I could play my G chord like this. I could play it like this. Or I don't propose this at all. You can play it like this, but that's fine. Understanding how we get to those locations and understanding to take the time that our hand needs to put the right fingers in the right position and the right placement. So we got to be leading on these G with our ring finger first. When we go to a C, it's not index first, it's ring middle, and then our index follows. If we're going to say an E major, we want to land with these two fingers, our middle and our ring finger, and then follow with our index. All right? If we're going to a D, it's index first, middle first, ring third. Or really, our index and middle go together, our ring follows. Too many times do I see that people's clarity is lacking. They might be able to sort of play the things, but when it speeds up and it goes to scale, it's falling apart because they don't actually truly have clarity around what needs to happen for those items, for those chord changes. All right? Same concept. If I was playing through on this one, we were playing through a 4-note chromatic. Let's go to our scale shape. Let's say we're playing down at the neck and we're playing our shape 5 pentatonic. All right, we're playing our shape 5 pentatonic. Well, what needs to happen on that shape 5 pentatonic, for one, our right hand needs to be really locked in with our left. So we need to spend time picking properly, which I mentioned in the other one. So if we start on that 3rd fret, since it's major with a down pick, it's up on the next string, then down. Up on the next, down. So forth and so on, right? Again, if you really want that clarity, there's more videos on our FretRepz tutorial, YouTube, and website. And it's also very much on our app. You can then work on the drill, plus you can work on that clarity, and then you can kind of deep dive it as you continue to evolve through those abilities. Again, these things, being clear on these and having clarity on how to play your drills, think about it just like having the right form, having the right proper organization of which section goes A, B, C, D, and falls in line. Otherwise, as you get faster, you end up with injuries and problems. Whether it be exercising, you'll end up with injuries. If you don't have good form when you're exercising, you're going to injure yourself. On guitar, if you don't have good form, you're just never going to be able to play the things that you want to. So, number 2 on the list, clarity. Let's understand the thing that we're really trying to do and spend time on it. Give it proper time. The hand takes more time than the brain wants, and our brain just has these absolutely insane expectations of life. It's just not how it works. You want to learn at the pace of your hand, you'll start finding real joy, true joy and happiness in that. If you slow down, you seek clarity, and then you try to apply that clarity to what it is you're doing. In this case, working through specific scales, drills, or chords in the proper way, in the proper order. All right, next up on the list, structure. Everybody goes left, right, up, down, new song, different song, sort of learn a scale, sort of learn a lick. Listen, we need to be able to understand our stuff and our origins after we get that clarity and have some structure to it. All right, organize our practice, 1, so it can go a lot faster, and 2, so we can get a ton more out of it. As I've gotten older, and I've seen this through all of my students, but also through myself, managing my structure so that I get the best ROI, return on investment, for what is the most valuable commodity in my life, time, is so important. So we need to have a structure to it, a structure to our clarity and the things that we're working on. Now, I built FretRepz.com specifically for this, to help my students and help them gain structure. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, let's hop over to the app. Let's take an exact look on what I mean by structure as you gain clarity. Let's take a look. All right, so if I'm talking about structure, we talking about structure? I ain't talking about structure. We talking about practice. We ain't talking about games. We talking about practice. That's right. We talking about practice and structure. This is what I'm talking about. Look exactly how this is organized, right? I'll move this. You can go. It's very specific on how it goes north to south, how one thing leads to the next, and it's only so much time. Look at that. It's only 13 minutes up there at the top. So really being able to, one, save a bunch of your time, be clear on the things that you're doing, and then just sit down, hit a button, and practice. That is 99% of the reason why I built FretRepz, is to help this structure and clarity. Then if I come into it, you'll notice that it's structured even more. Each drill has its own setup, 3 repetitions, specific BPM, and work time, followed by break and intervals. See, the body learns during breaks, during rest. At night when you sleep, your body is taking all that information and learning from it and allowing you to repeat it and go, okay? So in this case, we have repetitions, tempo, and work time. I'll give an example. This is that 4-note chromatic. So it'll kind of hit the other two as well. I'll be able to have clarity in here as we go, and specifics, and that structure. So if I hit my metronome, here we go. All right, when that one's finished, it's going to end, it's going to click, it's going to give me 15 seconds to rest, so it's going to work through that, and then it's going to go on to the next repetition with this, okay? That is what I'm talking about. When I'm talking about structure and clarity, I know what to do, how long to do it, and how to be locked in and stay present to it. There it goes. Next one starts up, hand is going. Cool. Then we're on to the next drill. Next drill starts. You work your way all the way through each one of these drills, and you have really perfect structure for it. So again, trying to get the best ROI, return on our investment for our time. One of the biggest ones that I see with beginner or intermediate guitarists, people that are stuck in a plateau, is that they lack, that's right, structure. Deep, not wide. Be clear on what you're doing, and then have a plan, man. Have a plan. Structure, one of the main ones I see missed. All right, here we go. Real talk. This one's really important, and only you can bring yourself to this table. But I have found with clarity, with seeking depth, not width, and with structure, this one doesn't feel as daunting, okay? Consistency, and it doesn't have to be so much, but I promise you will not get near the progress in life out of spending a lot of time on one day as you will spending a little bit of time over the course of multiple days. Now, ideally, if you can kind of hit every day, that's a lot. 5 days. I found 5 out of 7 days is a really good amount to be consistent on the things that you're going deep with and clear with, okay? Shouldn't take you much more than 10 to 15 minutes. Some days you do have to do like a little bit more education, a little bit more research, but you can build that in. If you're using the app, you won't have to do too much. You'll know exactly where to go. You'll see the next drill that you'll have on there. You can watch that video and kind of get your depth on that. You can use, say, a skill builder in those videos. You'll see them in the FretRepz videos to help you really get some depth on the thing that you're trying to learn. So important is, and maybe above all else, frankly, because even if you're not doing something perfectly, consistency is king. Consistency in life is awesome, and it's sometimes a little bit hard to do those same things. And while guitar and playing guitar should be fun, it doesn't mean it always is. There's really, in my humble opinion, there's nothing in life that is just always fun. There's a certain amount of effort and consistency you need to put into the things that you want so that the fun shows up consistently. And the more consistently you show up, I promise the more consistently the fun shows up. And guitar is this wonderful way of being kind of a 6-week cycle. So the things you're working on today take about 6 weeks. And then those things start really showing up and you're like, hey, this is working. And then you're kind of on to the next things and you're enjoying the things that you did before. Okay? So consistency is the real superpower on guitar. As we try to teach our brain and our hand to speak together, to connect, to play together, it takes time for us to learn how those two speak together by doing drills like this that just teach our right and left hand to work by playing our chords slow. All right, feeling our fingers, going for the right fingers in the right order. Again, it's not just that you can play G, it's that you know how to play G. It's that you know how to attack it and your hand feels comfortable. All right, so number 4 on this list, although it may be the most important thing on learning guitar, is consistency. All right, last but definitely not least, when we're done going deep, not wide, when we've done clarity, and we're starting to understand the thing that we're trying to do and really understand it. When we've got structure in there as well, consistency is showing up. These are the biggest things. Last but not least is a presence to that. It takes the other ones in order for this one to feel comfortable. Once we're clear and consistent, we can really start seeking a presence. We can really start trying to feel the guitar, right? It takes a bit. It takes a bit to be like, oh yeah, I feel that fret under my finger. I'm not just playing it. Oh right, I feel my right hand alternate picking, especially on like a 3 note, where it's flipping down, up. Or I'm going through my chords and I'm playing a D and I'm going to my G and I'm really feeling that ring finger land first and my other fingers follow. So we got our, 8 chord shapes that we need to know. We got, let's say, 5 scale shapes that we need to know, but we're really playing them with presence. We're really starting to feel that G major with proper picking. Both hands feeling good. All right, and we're getting a presence to the guitar. That means that we're actually really starting to feel those frets. Listen to how it sounds. Enjoy it. Be in the moment. Not be caught up in the future or expectations or whatever else. We're just really in that present moment enjoying the guitar. The other things lead to this enjoyment. They lead to our presence. They lead to us really being able to get the most from it while we're doing it. Okay? So number 5, a little bit of a harder one to get to, is presence. Now, if you're over in FretRepz and you're playing through stuff, you'll see that we got that triangle: consistency, clarity, and then presence. But they start circling on themselves, and that's when you know you are really kicking it with guitar and things are really starting to take off. It's when you're a bit in that 6-week loop. The things that you're putting in are clear and you're getting consistent, and then you're starting to get presence. Now the stuff that you've been working on for 6 weeks is starting to establish and you're playing, and that feels really exciting. You're starting to get kind of pulled along like, hey, I'm seeing this. I'm seeing my guitar get better. I'm seeing my growth and my progress. Maybe you're literally seeing it if you're on FretRepz.com and you can see your progress. You're just like, no, I gotten faster. I can see it. My numbers are right there. I see the days that I put into it and the time that I put into it. Okay, so last on the list is presence. These are the 5 things that I've seen over and over that will help you succeed on guitar. If you can kind of succeed and start trying to seek these out and achieve them, you can absolutely have anything you want on guitar. Hey, you made it this far, and that is absolutely awesome. That means that you truly care about learning and understanding. That's why I built FretRepz for you. It offers clarity, tracks progress, and turns drills into real skills. No more wasted time, no more guessing. Head to the link below or go to FretRepz.com and give it a try. Also, if you found this information helpful, please subscribe and ring that notification bell because we got plenty more coming. FretRepz. Practice smarter, play better.